Good evening, students. Today we are going to discuss phonetics and phonology, which are very important part of linguistics. We have already studied that linguistics is the scientific study of language, right? Language is science, and this is the study which is done scientifically. Now it seeks to understand the nature of human language, its structure, how it is acquired, how it is used, and how it changes over time. So linguistics is a very vast topic, and it studies about nature of human language and what is grammar, what is words, how words are placed, how combination of words work together, right? So that is structure. And then how language is acquired, how a child learns a language, how it develops the language, how uh, you understand any language, Hindi, English, Marathi, Telugu, how you are able to understand the language, how you are able to decode or uh, interpret the language, how it is used, how good language, how we can brush up our tongue, how we can, what we can say, brush up our knowledge uh, regarding language, right? And how it changes over time. Language is not static, language is matter of flux, it keeps on changing. So these all are the part of linguistics. Linguistics is a vast and multifaceted discipline. It's a very big topic actually, often divided into several core branches, each focusing on a different aspect of language. So there are number of different aspects of language, and here we will explore the basic branches of linguistics with a particular emphasis on phonetics and phonology. So, here, as we have taken two topics, phonetics and phonology, which are going to discuss in this slide. So, first is basic branches of linguistics. First, we have to see that what are the basic branches of linguistics. So, linguistics can be broadly categorized into following core branches: phonetics, right? Phonology, morphology, syntax, right? Then semantics, pragmatics, sociolinguistics, right? Then psycholinguistics, then neurolinguistics, historical linguistics, and computational linguistics. Okay. Now, first is phonetics, the study of physical properties of speech sounds. Phonetics is the study of physical property, right? Physical properties of speech sound. So, suppose I'm speaking here, right? So, what are the physical properties? Means how sound is produced, what organs we are using, like lips, right? Tongue, and teeth ridge, right? So these are the how I used to give example in the class that how P and Q and B and D, right? So that when I was taught that this direction, this bubble is called P, so that is bilabial. Why? Because my both the lips are joined while producing P. But then Q, right? So that is different. In case of Q, my lips are not joined, but I say B, again my lips are joined, right? If I say D, lips are not joined. So that is what's the mechanism, like in case of Q. so that my tip of tongue touches to or fixes into the lower teeth ridge, right? Then in case of D, so that D again, that's a different kind of function, and that's my blade of tongue touches to upper to roof of the upper teeth, something like this. So this is the study of physical properties. Here we are discussing physical properties of sound, speech sound. So that comes under phonetics. Phonology, the study of how speech sounds are organized and function within a particular language system. Because each, if we live in Hindi belt, so Hindi and English we can compare both the languages. So then how speech sounds are organized, like a very good example is Ram eats a mango. Ram eats a mango, right? And Ram आम खाता है. राम आम खाता है. अब आप यहाँ नोटिस करिए what is different structure is that, that's a Ram is common, but eats, here eats come after arm, and this is the position of arm, and is article is used in English sentence, but in Hindi sentence no article is used here, right? So this is two languages are there, right? How speech sounds are organized in Hindi. How speech sounds are organized in Hindi? Subject, right, plus verb plus object. Ram आम खाता है, and Ram eats a mango, eats a mango. तो आपने देखा कि इंग्लिश में इन दिस इंग्लिश सेंटेंस सब्जेक्ट इज राम, ईट्स इज वर्ब, एंड मैंगो, अ मैंगो इज ऑब्जेक्ट. बट इन हिंदी स्ट्रक्चर इज डिफरेंट. इन हिंदी सब्जेक्ट, देन ऑब्जेक्ट, देन वर्ब. सो what is structure is different. Subject, verb and object. Here subject, object and verb. So subject is common, but a verb and object place is different, right? So that is the how speech sounds are organized, right, and function within a particular language system. We have seen the example. So that comes under phonology, right? How sounds. In another example, like mechanical, right, and machine. Here you have noticed two things. CH is pronounced as k, right, and mechanical machine sh, that is pronounced as sh, this ch. So this is the study which comes under phonology. Then next is morphology, the study of word structure and formation of words, how words are made and how words are how words are made and formed, right? This is the study of morphology. Logy is a study morphemes, right? So morphemes are words. For example, these are different words, right? That's the study of word, right? So that's a formation. Another example, let's take another example, that is formation, right? So form and shun, formation, right? So that is the study of morphology. Formation, reflection, irritation, right, corruption, right? So these all shun words. So that's a study of morphology, where we do we study word structure and formation of words. Now then, syntax, the study of sentence structure and rules governing how words combine to form phrases and sentences. So that is, syntax means sentence structure, right? Syntax means we study sentence structure with the rules, right? Like first we have to place subject, then verb, then object in English. So this is the study which is done under syntax. Then semantics, the study of meaning of language, right? So that particular language, suppose if I say that I am going to market, right? I am going to market, right? So here am I going to market. So here place is change, right? M and M place is change, so that meaning is change here. That's a statement and that's the question, right? So this is the study of semantics. Then uh, pragmatics, semantics, another example. I am standing on the bank, right? I am in the bank, in the bank, semantic, right? So bank is what? Bank is a river coast or bank is financial institution? Not clear. So that is, meaning is changed, that comes under semantics. Now pragmatics, the study of language use in context, focusing on how meaning is interpreted based on the situation and speaker's intent, right? This is something about how context change, then the same statement, meaning of same statement will be changed. For example, uh, if we see, that's a um, I used to give example of counseling. This is the time of counseling, admission time, right? So admission counseling is there. So when sometime a student come for admission along with, a student comes for admission along with her younger sister. So I may ask this way, that when I talk to student I will say, okay, which school you're from? So she will tell, I am from St. Paul, right? I am from St. Ruffles. And if I say, ask the student's younger sister, I say, which school you are from? So that is different, formal, informal, and so many things. Question is same, right? But context is changed. So this comes under pragmatic, the study of language used in the context, focusing on how meaning is interpreted based on situation and speaker's intent. Okay. Now, beyond these core branches, there are numerous interdisciplinary fields within linguistics, such as sociolinguistics. These are the interdisciplinary fields, right? These are the interdisciplinary fields. So we will see sociolinguistics, social and linguistics, society and language, the study of relationship between language and society. Different society, different language, different community, different language. So community changes, the major language plays a very important role in community, and that's why community changes, right? So how society or particular community, what language they speak and how they speak, right? And what is acceptable words, and what is the behavior, like body language and all, that comes under sociolinguistics. Then psycholinguistics, the study of psychology, psychological processes involved in language. How psychologically we change our mind. Suppose if I'm talking to a foreigner, so my psychology will be changed, and if I'm talking to my close friend, so my psychology will be changed. Language changes. So that is the study of psychological process. Then neurolinguistics. Neurolinguistics is the study of neural mechanism underlying the language, right? So that's a something with the nerves, how aware, how alert when we talk to different people. So our language uh, impacts like on our language, which is done in neurolinguistics. Then historical linguistics, the study of language changes over time. Suppose my previous generation speaks in a different way. I am speaking in a different way, and maybe my next generation, you people, you speak in different way, different words and tone and everything. So that, because languages never be fixed, so that keeps on changing. So that is historical linguistics, with change period, with uh, with the period, or like a period of time. Then computational linguistics, the application of computational methods of linguistic problem, like many words are invented, so to understand new words, right? And then how, suppose I am not able to understand or speak the word, so that study is called computational linguistics. Then applied linguistics, very important. Applied linguistics, the application of linguistic theory to real world problems such as language teaching, speech therapy. So linguistics is very important. Once we have knowledge of different parts of linguistic, definitely it will improve our pronunciation, language formation and everything. So that is applied linguistics, right? Now now these are the different branches, basic branches, and that is interdisciplinary fields which we had studies. Now our main topic, purpose of this video is to understand two terms, phonetics and phonology. So phonetics, the study of sound, scientific study of sound, is called phonetics. Scientific study of sound is called phonetics. So let us see. Phonetics is the fundamental branch of linguistics that deals with production, transmission, and perception of speech sound. That is fundamental branch. And production, I'm speaking, so how sound is produced, what repeating what organs I'm using when I am speaking. And then transmission, how like through air my sound is travel and reaches to you through this video, so that is transmission. And perception, and how are you getting my voice, so how, what did you understand, so that is perception of a speech sound, because it's all about sound. Mm, Words are already there, right? Text is already given, but I'm reading and trying to explain it. So this is phonetics. It is concerned with physical properties of sound, right? Physical properties of sounds, regardless of their meaning or function in a specific language. Actually, phonetics is just machine, software, hardware, right? You can imagine your cell phone. So that how cell phone is made, wiring and all, so that sound is improved, camera is improved or something like this. So that all physical property. So your phone machine is phonetics. Now, what are the sub branches of phonetics? So here sub branches of phonetics, very important part, articulatory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics is, that's a how sound is produced. Focus, how speech sounds are produced by human vocal organs, right? Articulators. Human vocal organs are articulators. Means again, the same I have to repeat, that how when my lips are joined, when my teeth ridge goes up, when my teeth lower teeth ridge comes down, something like this. That is the study which is done under this part, which is called articulatory phonetics. Means place of articulation, where is the vocal tract, the obstruction of airflow occurs, right? So that's a very important, vocal tract and the airflow. Obstruction of airflow occurs, right? If I say that P, B, D, K, so where that obstruction of airflow occurs, which is very important, and that is why words are divided into different class, which is IPA symbols actually are divided. IPA is International Phonetics Alphabet, are divided into bilabial, alveolar, velar. These are the different classes based on articulators, like when two lips are joined, when two lips are separated, when tongue goes behind, when tongue touches roof of the soft palate or hard palate, something like this. So then we have classified sounds or phonemes or IPA symbols into different classes, which comes under that is place of articulation. Then manner of articulation. Manner of articulation, how the airflow is obstructed or modified. Very important. How the airflow is obstructed or modified, right? Stop, plosive, fricative, nasal, lateral, means nasal, for example, nasal, right? So in case of nasal, there are three sounds, M, N or inga. M, N, or this is ing, right? This ing is, sorry, this ing is the ing. This is the combination of N, G. So these three sounds where air passes through our nostril here, right? In these cases, here air pass through, that's a M, N and inga. These three sound where our lips are tight and air passes through nose. And this is the study which is done in manner of articulation, and then on the basis of airflow, obstruction of airflow, right, when airflow is modified, and on the basis of this words are letters are not letters, IPA symbols or phonemes are divided into different classes, which are stop, plosive and all. Then next class of phonetics is voicing, whether the vocal cords vibrate during production of sound or not. For example, in case of if I say P, right, and then the voice and voiceless sound, right? So that's a S is voiceless and Z is voiced, right? Za. So when the vocal cord vibrate during the production, how can you check? You can put two fingers to your Adam's apple in your neck, that's a throat, and then you can feel that voice and voiceless sound. So in detail I'm going to speak later on. Example: describing P as voiceless bilabial stop. How? P is described this way, that voiceless P. First you have to put your lips, to tight your lips together, right? And then P is produced. P, right? So that is voiceless. And then you can put your fingers to your throat, Adam's apple. P, no vibration. And bilabial, of course, because both the lips are joined together. And stop, we have to stop the airflow. P, so that is voiceless. And then F as voiceless, labiodental fricative. Labio, F, so that is our upper teeth ridge touches to lower the lip and fixes. So that's the F is produced, but little sound is there, a little air is flow and little, so that is again voiceless and fricative. And then M is voice, M. So when M we speak, then airflow comes from nostril, and then that's a Adam's apple vibrates. That is voiced bilabial because lips are together. M and nasal. Why? Because airflow comes through nose or nostril. That is nasal sound. So this way we study articulators, right? So that's a study of that place of sorry, that comes under uh, articulatory phonetics. This is the articulatory phonetics. Now the next variety is acoustic phonetics. Sometimes short notes may be asked for these topics, so you just be attentive. That's a acoustic phonetics. So the physical properties of speech sounds as they travel through the air in the form of sound waves, right? So acoustic is physical properties of speech sounds as they travel through air in the form of sound waves. So when we speak something, it is reaches when you talk to your mother, friend, whomsoever. So then your voice travels through air and reaches to your friend's ear. So that is the study which is called acoustic phonetics. And here what are the key concepts we should know? Frequency, the rate of vibration perceived as pitch. You must have noticed Rani Mukherjee's voice. In her voice and her voice and pitch is different when she speaks. So that rate of vibration and perceived as pitch, which is different. Some speak loudly, some speak very what we can say that very delicately, right? So that depends. Meera Nair, one of the politicians, was famous for speak very softly, right? So this is the story of uh, this is the study of what we call acoustic. Then amplitude or intensity, the strength of sound wave perceived as loudness, right? Sometime your mother or you may be asked by your parents, dheere bolo, right? So that is why, because sometime we speak loudly. Then duration, the language of time a sound is produced. If I say, I am teaching you, that's a duration. And if I say I'm teaching you linguistics, phonetics and phonology, that is too much uh, too not balanced, right? So that duration studies in this acoustic phonetics. Then spectrograms, visual representation of speech sound showing frequency, intensity, and time. You must have seen when heart is heart waves, right, in a screen, right? So that pulse rate, right, in the screen you must have this way pulse rate. So this is a spectrogram. So here that's a speech sound showing frequency, that's a speech sound showing frequency, intensity, and time. So start from here, right, and how it reaches to the person. Start from here, travel, and this. So from here to here, right? This is a speaker and this is listener. This way you can imagine. So that's a visual representation of speech. Okay, then tools, spectrographs or oscillographs. So these are the different type of, this is the acoustic phonetics. Then third is auditory or perceptual phonetics. How speech sounds are perceived and interpreted by the human ear and brain. This is called auditory listening, right? So how it is perceived and interpreted by human ear and brain. What is important? Categorical perception, the tendency to perceive sounds as belonging to discrete, right? So that if I listen a different news channel, right? So if I'm listening any like BBC or Aaj Tak or different channels, so definitely my perception, my tendency is that I would listen comfortably Aaj Tak. I may not be listen BBC or any TV English, so I have to be very much attentive, something like this. So this discretion, this uh, awareness, that comes under this categorical perception, and right. And then category, even if there is a continuum of acoustic properties, so that is here we have seen that the uh, that is the study where we listen. So sometimes biasness, sometimes awareness, so that matters, and that the study comes under in this category, which is auditory or perceptual phonetics. Discrimination, the ability to distinguish between different sounds. So we will be able to understand if I say that receipt and receipt, receipt and receipt, actually there is no sound of p, so that is receipt, receipt. But if I say receipt, so you, if you have noticed, so you can tell me that no, this is not receipt, this is receipt. So this is the discrimination, ability to distinguish between different sounds. No, this is wrong pronunciation and this is right pronunciation. Then identification, the ability to recognize and name a sound. So we will be able to understand, and that is for example, we can understand and find out the meaning and tone and everything that comes under this this is auditory phonetics, right? So that is something about here. Now international phonetic alphabet, IPA symbols are very important. A crucial tool in phonetics, that's IPS, is a system of phonetic notation, right? That's a notation, phonetic notation that represents all known speech sounds with a unique symbol. It allows linguistics to transcribe sounds accurately and consistently across languages, avoiding the ambiguities of standard orthography, right? Now, next topic is phonology, very important. So here, yeah, here one thing, that's all this study is done through IPA symbols, which we are going to discuss in detail in the class. IPA symbols is the yeah, let me give you some examples yeah, um, this is right, this is right, this is the show, this is show. These are the IPA symbols, newly invented IPA. Some are accepted as it is. So these all are very crucial tool for phonetics. Now, phonology, the sound system of language. I told you that your cell phone, right? Your cell phone is, that is, uh, this cell phone is machine, right? This a machine, or this is this machine, this cell phone, right? And then the wiring and all, right? So that is all speaker, right? And here voice and every, this is phonetics, this is phonetics. Now phonology is different. While phonetics deals with physical sounds, phonology investigates how these sounds are organized and used within specific language system. Suppose I use English and Hindi and write many things through my phone, but suppose another the person who speaks and understands another language, French, German, Tamil, Telugu, whatever, right? So then how it works, the phone is same, phonetics means system is much, phone is same, but how that phonology investigates how these sounds are organized and used within a specific language system, है ना? And then all alphabets are common, keyboard is common, but then how another language is produced. So that is the part of phonology. It focuses on the abstract mental representation of sounds and the rules that govern their behavior. So it focuses on the abstract mental representation of sounds, right? And rules that governs their behavior. So what knowledge, grammatical knowledge I have, right? And what my mental condition, and then I use the language. That is something about software. If phonetics is hardware, then phonology is software. Phonology explores the functional role of sounds in distinguishing meaning. So earlier for phonetics we have seen IPA symbols are very important. So that phoneme, IPA symbols means all IPA symbols are phoneme. But however, phonetics and phonology somewhat that's a interconnected. But then if we see the difference, phonetics is hardware, or that is mechanical, like tools we can say, and phonology is how tools produce the sound, how it works in different situation. So phoneme, the smallest unit of sound in a language that can distinguish meaning, smallest unit of sound, right? So that distinguish, again let me give you example. Here direction change, sound change, so these all are phonemes. But phonemes that distinguish meaning, these distinguish meaning. Okay, now phonemes are abstract mental representations, because our mind understands this is P, this is Q, this is B, this is D. They are not physical sounds themselves, but rather categories of sounds, because our mind categorize, our mind changes immediately that this is a P, this is B, identified through minimal pair, minimal very short pairs. Words that differ by only one sound. One sound changes and then P, right? So that's a pen, right? That's a ben, that's a can, or that's a fan. Fan. One sound changes, just one sound changes, and that's a uh, shows the distinct phonemes. These are the different and these are the common letters, right? Common letters. But because of one phoneme, sound changes. But our mind understands. So that is something pet, pat. They have given another example, pet, bat, P and B, distinct phonemes, right? Now, so this is one of the parts of phonology. Now, another part is allophones. Here, before proceeding, allophones is same phoneme but different positioning of articulators. A phonetic vibrant of a phoneme. Allophones do not distinguish meaning. They are different pronunciations of the same phoneme, often determined by their phonetic environment. Example, pit in PIT pit and the unaspirated pit in spit, both are allophones of phoneme. What they say that allophones do not, very important, sometimes this is asked, allophone do not distinguish meaning. Meaning is same. They are different pronunciation of the same phoneme. Right? Different pronunciation of the same phoneme often determined by their phonetic environment. Why? Because in case example, this is aspirated means when we speak pit. So that per with H sound, pit. But when we speak spit, because of S, here S is given, this S is given, and because of this S, because of this, wait a minute, because of this S, P, flavor of P will be changed. It is unaspirated. Where one in case of pit, puff is made, pit, and spit, that's a no puff, that is unaspirated. So that P means P, no changes, but then position changes, and that is called allophones, right? When we study in detail, you will be able to understand. Another example, L, in case of L, so that's a light and full, right? Two words are there, light and full. Both are allophones in the phoneme. L. When you speak light, so your tip of tongue goes behind and that's a touches to roof of hard palate, light. But when you speak full, so that is not too much behind, full. So that touches the roof, but then not l. When you say l, so your tongue, curved tongue goes up, l, light, but full, not this way. So this is L is L, but then different L. When we produce different L, different L ka sound is different. So that is called allophones. Then third part of phonology is phonological rules, very important. Rules that describe how phonemes are realized as allophones in different contexts, very important. How phonemes are realized as allophones in different contexts, or how sounds change when placed next to each other, right? Example means how allophones uh, are realized. How? First, these are the different phonological rules actually, right? Very important. Every child has to face these all: assimilation, dissimilation, deletion, right? Epenthesis and more. That's a metathesis, right? So first is assimilation. A sound become more like a neighboring sound. Impossible. So when n becomes m before p, impossible. In plus possible, impossible. But that is impossible. So that n become m in case of impossible. So that's a sound becomes more like a neighboring sound. So that n impossible, but sometimes it seems that impossible, right? Where n becomes m before p, right? So that is impossible. Then dissimilation. A sound becomes less like a neighboring, just opposite, less common. Dissimilation, I tell you later example. Then deletion, a sound is removed. Deletion. Handbag, often deleted. D is deleted. Handbag, sorry, this the handbag. Hot coffee, hot coffee, hot coffee, hot coffee, right? Hot coffee, hot coffee, hot coffee, hot coffee. So T is deleted. That T is deleted. Hot coffee, right? So that deletion. Then epenthesis, a sound is inserted. The insertion of schwa between certain consonant cluster, as athlete pronounced in two syllables by some speakers. So that athlete, right? I tell you later, because schwa sound we have to understand. Then metathesis, the reordering of sound. Asks, sometimes asks. The small child say animal, animal, and he speaks aminal, aminal. Later he corrects himself, but in the beginning, aminal sometime. So this is the example of metathesis. Okay. So these are the parts of phonology. The next part of phonology. Here we have seen that's the phonological rules we were discussing. Now come to next category of phonology, that is natural classes. Groups of sound that share phonetic features and behave similarly in phonological rules. Voiceless, stoppy, T, K, nasals, MN. So that is classes. Natural classes means these comes under voiceless stops, nasal sounds I told you. So this is a class. So how these M, N and Inga are together? Why? Because in all these phonemes the airflow comes from nostrils. So that comes under one group. So that is natural classes are the part of phonology. Because of phonology, different classes are there. Then prosody, very important. Last time this question is asked, prosody or supra segmentals. So prosody is that's a features of a speech that extend over more than one segment phoneme. So uh, that is the deep knowledge of phoneme. You can understand this way. That's a deeper knowledge of phoneme. So that's a why, because intonation, stress, rhythm, tone, right? So that's the rise and fall of pitch. Rise and fall of pitch in a speech is intonation, conveying meaning or emotion. When our different mood with different statement question, I said, am I speaking this way? Or was I speaking this way? Or I was speaking this way? So I was speaking this way is a statement. But we say, was I speaking this way? So that is question. That is intonation. Rise fall. Right? So that is rise fall of pitch, which is called intonation. Then stress. So stress is the emphasis placed on certain syllables or words. Uh, if I say that now it's time to invite our chief guest. You must have noticed in this speech. Now this is the time, or now this is the time to invite our chief guest. So you must have noticed stress on different words. Some are weaker, some are strong words. So this way we invite. Now I would like to invite our chief guest. Different types of expression. So this is stress, where we certain syllables or words within sentence in which on which we stress, right? Then rhythm, pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables, right? Twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. So that's a great example of rhythm. R, right? Rhyming sound we create, right? Then tone, a tonal language, the pitch contour of syllable can distinguish, for example, Mandarin Chinese, right? So that is tone. Their tone is different. Sometimes we say that her tone was very rude. So that is tone. Something to do with phonology. The next is generative phonology, type of generative phonology. So theoretical framework developed by Noam Chomsky and Maurice Hale, and that seeks to establish a system of explicit rules to describe the sound pattern of language. Focuses on underlying abstract representation of sounds and the rules. Abstract representation, it not in written. That is something to do with mind, and rules that transform them into surface phonetic forms. So that is important. Now relationship and distinction between phonetics and phonology. So that is the features, focus, nature, unit of study, scope. So focus, physical property, right? That is physical property. That's abstract organization and function of sound. The nature, concrete, observable, physical. Abstract, mental, systematic. Unit of study, that's the phones, right? Individual speech sound or phonemes, right? Meaning, distinguishing sound. And then a scope, universal and language specific. That is for every language, human language, and that is for language specific, describe sound patterns. So this is something. Then tools, IPA symbols, that's a minimal pair, very important beta. Question. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Now, question is, that's a how are sounds produced or perceived? How do sound pattern, right? Sound pattern distinguish meaning. If pattern change, meaning is change. Tools, IPA symbols, organization, spectrograms, articulatory diagrams, and here tools are minimal pair, and then phonological rules are distinctive features, right? In essence, phonetics provides the raw material, the full range of possible speech sound that humans can produce. Phonology takes this raw material and describes how a specific language selects. Very good description. That takes raw material and uses raw material for specific language, selects, organizes, and uses these sounds to create meaningful distinctions. It explains why certain sounds behave the way they do in a given language, and why some phonetic distinctions are crucial for meaning while others are not. So, understanding both phonetics and phonology is fundamental to comprehend the intricate nature of human language and how it operates at its more basic level of sound. So, that is something to do with phonetics and phonology. Here we have discussed, that is phonetics and phonology, right? Phonetics is physical and phonology is mental work, right? So, thank you so much. God bless you.